As of November 25, 2024, German DAX is displaying moderate growth buoyed by robust consumer sentiment and a resilient export sector despite economic challenges in Europe. Valuations remain steady with a PE ratio around 15.7, suggesting cautious investor optimism amid stable earnings growth and in major sectors like industrial and financials. The Nikkei 225, meanwhile, has been rallying near its 1989 peak, supported by fiscal stimulus, expectations and robust corporate earnings. Market sentiment is positive, with gains across technology and export-heavy sectors underpinned by a weaker yen and accommodative monetary policy from the Bank of Japan. G'day folks, welcome back to another update, and today we're looking at the German DAX and the Japanese Nikkei. Before we go any further, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. And stay to the end of the video to see what we offer on the Patreon channel. So here we'll look at the trends first for the German DAX. On the monthly, you can see here we've still got the CCI breaking or moving above its respective moving averages, and likewise in the price it's above its respective moving averages. Now you'll notice here we did have a trend line drawn previously, and it's actually risen slightly since our last video, but the CCI is still showing a bearish divergence versus higher highs on the price, so that's still in play. It hasn't actually started to pull back yet, but just be aware of that. We might see a pullback at some point, and if that happens, we're going to expect it to drop lower to about the 23-38% Fibonacci retrace level, or in that area somewhere. On the weekly, we've got another bearish divergence. You can see there lower highs on the CCI versus higher highs on the price, and that's actually pulled back a bit, but not far enough. We've got the target area there. You'll notice here as well the CCI is below its moving averages, giving us a bearish signal. On the daily, and if I zoom into this one, we did have a bearish divergence back here, slightly lower highs on the CCI versus higher highs on the price. That was our initial target area. It hit it once, bounced, and then it dropped further. And currently it's sort of, well, it's actually now about above that 23%, but it actually went as far as a 50% retrace level. More closely, you'll see here we've got a bullish divergence, higher lows on the CCI versus lower lows on the price, and that actually bounced. I won't draw the Fibonacci, but you can see there that's actually retraced probably around the 61% level of that Fibonacci range. Now if we go to the intraday charts, again, this is the 1 hour chart. We always trade in the direction of the higher time frames. If you're trading on the 1 hour, we trade in the direction of the daily. And here the daily is showing us a bullish momentum with the CCI and both the price above their respective moving averages. So taking only long trades. So for example, there you would have taken a long position on that candle there, gone long and closed it out when that CCI breaks into that moving average band near that high there. Wait until the CCI breaks above again, and it did so on that candle. Now in this case it broke below again, so you would have either got out with a small loss, or if you held on to it, you would have then gone in another entry there where it broke above the moving average again. So again, just maybe make sure you take your stop losses where they're available, and you would have gone long again on that candle, and you'd still be in the trade and wait for that CCI to break into that moving average band. So you'd still be in a good money at the moment if you were trading on that one there. Notice as well, based on the daily, we had a bullish divergence, and that's also, again, as I said in the previous chart, it's actually risen and broken up through that moving average range, and that would have been a bit more, showing you a bit more confidence to go long on the hourly. As well on the hourly, you've got lower lows on the CCI bit there versus higher lows on the CCI there, and that would have been a nice trade to take. You can see there that if I draw a Fibonacci between that low and that high, we always take it back to the previous high before that divergence started. You can see there it broke well above it, 61%, and the target area would have been, for those new to the channel, I draw the target area between that 23 and a 38% retrace level. That's a minimum target. In this case, it's broken well above the 61% and approaching the 100% retrace level. So again, going long only based on the daily, and it looks like it may possibly approach this resistance up here at 19,668. So again, just keep an eye on that. And if you're trading on the intraday, always go in the direction of the higher time frame. Next on the Japanese Nikkei, as I said in the opening outlook, you can see there it's actually broken higher than that previous high back in 1990. And if I zoom in, we had back in 2014 to 2018, we had a bearish divergence there. It broke down, hit our minimum target range, and it bounced. And at the moment, you can see there the CCI is broken below that moving average range, so bearish outlook so far on the Nikkei for the monthly. So just be aware of that. We might see a bit of a pullback on it. There's no divergence, but it's showing a bearish movement on the monthly chart. On the weekly, if I zoom out on this one, You can see there we had a very long-term start of 2021. We had a bearish divergence, lower highs on the CCI versus higher highs on the price, and that actually fell and broke into our minimum target range. And again, to draw the Fibonacci range there between that high and that low, that's at 23-38% Fibonacci range. That's our minimum target. It actually fell in that range, went just below the 38%, and it bounced out of there. 90% of the time it does hit that minimum range. Sometimes it actually breaks a lot lower, as I've demonstrated in the previous charts, and more often than not it just touches and bounces in that range and then bounces out of that range as well. Now you'll notice as well on the daily, this is actually the weekly. On the weekly, it's actually still in a bearish momentum with the CCI below its moving average. So just be aware of that. Even though it seems like the price has bounced, it may still go higher. And if that price does keep going higher, we want to see this CCI also break above. It's a very narrow range, but break above that moving average range as well. Now, if I look onto the daily chart, it's still in this range here. It has been since the end of September, and is struggling to break out of this consolidation phase between 37,265 and 40,280. It's currently sitting there around the 38,760 mark. Now you'll notice here the CCI has just broken a fresh breakout above the moving average range, allowing us to go long on the intraday. So if we go to the intraday charts, again going long based on the daily chart, there are a couple of false breaks here. You would have gone long more recently at that point there. Now notice here as well, these false breaks, they weren't showing bullish momentum. So the latest trade you would have taken bullish movement was at that point there, very likely. And that was where it's showing a fresh breakout on the daily. These points here, you would not have gone long because that was showing short positioning on the daily. So just be aware of that. And that's why I'm telling you to always trade in the direction of the higher time frame and avoid these little consolidation points where it fluctuates up and down between the moving average range. There's a better probability of success when you wait for the daily to break above or below the moving average range to then take the respective short or long positions. And again, you would have taken a long position there and you'd still be in a trade. It looks like it's going to close out in the next hour or two, possibly, if it breaks into that moving average range of the CCI. To support the channel more, hit that like and subscribe button and share the video. For added benefits and the cost of a coffee, consider subscribing to the Patreon page where we look at weekly scans of bullish trending shares and insider trades that may have occurred. Thanks again and see you in the next video.